Interviews were held with Manu Kone's managers. Jürgen Klopp's midfield will undergo a major change in the coming months. And it seems like they don't want to waste time before window opening. Liverpool held talks with representatives of young French midfielder Manu Kone ahead of the opening of the summer window. Liverpool's midfield has been an area that has come under fire this season, and it took a while for the Reds to find their way in the Premier League. Not being on a streak like they had in recent seasons meant that Jürgen Klopp's men would have to settle for playing in Europe's minor league competition. This summer we will see legends like Anfield's Roberto Firmino and James Milner leave the club. So, aside from the need to provide more quality to the manager in the middle of the park, there are also holes in the staff that need to be replaced. The Reds look set to see a new arrival from the gates to midfield at Anfield in the coming weeks, with reports suggesting a deal for Brighton Hove Albion's Alexis Mac Allister is near completion. However, they don't seem to be content with the arrival of the World Cup winner Argentine. Talks are reportedly continuing with Kone, which costs £5,000 a week. Citing the latest developments, Fabrizio Romano claimed that the French players' agents are in contact with Liverpool regarding a potential move. Liverpool have had talks with Manu Kone's managers recently, so there has been direct contact between Manu Kone's side and Liverpool. And the expectation is that the price tag is around 35 to 40 million euros. So it could be 35 million euros with some add-ons. That's the sentiment from sources close to the negotiation, and that's why Liverpool are so well informed, he said. Although Kone is still 22 years old, the French player has proven himself in the Bundesliga as a regular starter for Borussia Mönchengladbach. This season alone, Kone has made 30 appearances in the Bundesliga and has started every game he's available. Although the midfielder still has 2 years left with the German team, his time seems to be ending at Gladbach. Indeed, big clubs like Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain have attracted interest in the French player. Kone is a midfielder who can make a promising partnership alongside Mac Allister. Both players are of age, which means they could form a partnership for years to come, with Mac Allister's offensive skill well balanced against Kone's defensive ability. Praised as a powerhouse by a member of the Football Carnage team, Kone could become one of the Premier League's foremost central cogs in Liverpool. The 22-year-old will be on the market for almost a third of the price of Liverpool's past goal Rice, and could take on the role the 24-year-old would fill if he joins Klopp's ranks. Once described as a one-man army by talent scout Jacek Kulik, Kone has completed 87% of his passes in the Bundesliga this season. It was also in the top 4% of midfielders compared to the top 5 leagues in Europe last year. Ranking in the top 19% for blocks, the top 22% for progressive moves, and the top 90% for per-match challenges, the dynamism and energy of the artist is clearly proven. Such metrics level up nicely alongside Rice's own seasonal performance. While Rice is world-class as lauded by West Ham's former academy head David Hunt, Kone may not yet be considered a top-notch central midfielder. But under Klopp's wise tutelage at Anfield, it won't be long before he reaches his full potential. Given that the transfer window hasn't opened yet, this is definitely a promising opening week for the new season for the Reds. Liverpool are among the options for the want-away star who is willing to sell at the club. According to Sky Sports Germany correspondent Florian Plettenberg, Liverpool are among the options for Benjamin Pavard to join this summer. A recent report by Kicker claimed that the Reds were asking the French defender, who is believed to want to leave Bayern Munich. The 27-year-old seems to have a long list of potential suitors from Europe's biggest clubs. The price tag of the French player is expected to be around 30 to 40 million euros. Florian Plettenberg, Bayern are also willing to sell him. They know Pavard definitely wants to leave the club in the summer. There is a demand for a potential trade deal plus fee or 30 to 40 million euros plus bonus payments. The player's suitors include Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City and Inter, he said. It can be seen as an advantage that Pavard wants to leave Bayern and that the club is warm to this departure. But what stands out in Plettenberg's update is the magnitude of the rivalry Liverpool could face if they were seriously interested in the player. For a well-rounded World Cup winning defender who is equally comfortable with transfermarkt mid-defense and on the right and has plenty of top-level experience at 30 years old, transfer of £27 million looks very appetizing indeed. If the Reds sign the French player, it could give Jürgen Klopp a chance to continue in the long term with his season-ending experience playing Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield. Because it is a fact that the man from Bayern will stand guard in the role of a traditional right-back. What could complicate Liverpool's job is that the other 6 clubs Plettenberg mentioned will all be in the Champions League next season. The Reds will have to make do with European football. In addition, Jonathan Johnson warned of question marks from some quarters over Pavard's mentality and how the defender sinked without a trace from the French team after his feats in the 2018 World Cup victory. These may be legitimate red flags, but he certainly has an impressive CV at club and international level. He has some of the biggest trophies in football. It gives Klopp a cleverly flexible addition to a defense that needs to be strengthened. It may soon become clear how much money FSG is willing to put on the table for the 27-year-old, as there is now a price question, according to Plettenberg. Lionel Messi and Erling Haaland have proven why Darwin Nunez is ready to explode for Liverpool. Darwin Nunez did not quite reach the heights that many expected to reach in his inaugural season with Liverpool. But there have been little glimpses of an extremely exciting player, and over time Liverpool may see it more often. One particular statistic underlying Nunez certainly gives Liverpool fans encouraging hope ahead of next season. It's a season that promises to be a much better campaign for the Uruguayan, who always took some time to improve at every club he went to early in his career. He scored 34 goals in his second season at Benfica, but only 14 goals in his first campaign. He wasn't that sharp mentally in his first season. Bearing the brunt of Benfica's most expensive signing of all time, Nunez was crushed under the weight of expectations, perhaps as with Liverpool. However, that changed when those pressures were lifted from his shoulders in his second season. The Uruguayan turned into a goal machine. It is very likely that he will have a similar Liverpool career to his Benfica career. Nunez's explosive speed and energy make him a real nuisance, and he has the ability to find the right positions to get into scoring chances. So when it comes to some key metrics, it's no surprise that Nunez was one of the best performing strikers in Europe's top 5 leagues in his first Liverpool season. For example, in 2022-2023 he averaged more on goals per 90 minutes than only Kylian Mbappé. Nunez in all 5 of Europe's top leagues. The likes of Lionel Messi and Erling Haaland performed under Liverpool's Uruguayan star. That's a pretty big distinction for Nunez, the so-called bad finisher. On average, he shoots more than the vast majority of players in Europe's top 5 leagues, and while those shots don't always result in goals yet, his high volume is a sign that he knows how to put the ball on target, at least to test the goalkeeper. This is a sign that despite Nunez's turbulent first season at the club, his future at Anfield is far from over. It's often common for strikers who come for record wages and come with great expectations to not hit the ground running right away. Even Victor Osimhen, who brought a sensational Scudetto to Napoli this season, has become one of Europe's most prolific strikers in the process, scoring just 10 goals in his first season at Napoli. Nunez still has all the equipment to explode next season, and his ability to hit the ball with better frequency than the likes of Haaland and Messi, who are famous for scoring goals, is just another sign of what's about to come.